I think I think religions are struggling, and religious leaders and authorities are struggling and can't avoid the struggle. And I think part of what has happened in this little corner of the internet is, in a sense, we are we're sharing a corner. We all know we have our little flags, and so we've got our little Christian flag and then our other little Christian flags, and there's a Jewish flag, and not a lot of Islam in this little corner yet, but we've got atheists and various kinds. And we've sort of said, we're not gonna play the game of rushing into your circle of chairs and tearing down your flag. That's not the game we're gonna play. And we're also not going to forefront necessarily trying to raid, do kidnapping between each other. We're not going to play that game either. If people decide they want to go sit by a different flag, okay. But we're not going to play any manipulative games with people. We're going to try to, as best we can, within the cultural sphere that we have, highlight conversation. It's not going to be anti-rational, but it's not going to be rationalistic either. We are going to respect metaphysical claims, and we can challenge them and we can talk about them, but we're going to respect them and understand that many Christians believe in the physical resurrection of Jesus, and Islam and Jews have questions about the Trinity, and the atheists have questions about God and what on earth that term should mean, or any of that. So we're all going to say we all know that these issues are here, and these issues have dominated our attempts to speak with one another for a very long time. And we don't feel like that, though, the domination of those issues has necessarily brought a lot of fruit. In other words, we all have problems, in some ways driven by something outside of us that has overcome us all. I mean, technology and change and all of these things. And it would just suit us well to have reasonable conversations between each other. And it doesn't mean that some of the traditional things like Trinity or not are off limits. We can talk about those, but we're not going to make that the center of this. If you really want to burrow down on debating the Trinity, go off in a corner of this corner and do it there. But that's not going to be what this corner is about. We all know that we are all facing challenges at the same time, and we might all benefit by comparing notes. And some of what you brought up already, and that could this be part of much greater progress to address some of what separates us? Sure. And I think many of us would welcome that, because the tribalistic games that we have tended to play, most of us are not that interested in the tribalistic games. I will be friends with Jacob, even though Jacob, has opinions about this or that or this or that. I will still be friends with him. I believe he's a good faith partner. I believe he's someone worth talking to. We can be friends. And even though we differ, let's say, on Paul of Tarsus and the Trinity and the resurrection of Jesus Christ, I still want to be friends with him. And I still learn from him. And I still accept his challenges to me and at me, because I think that those express, even, in Jacob's own way, those are ways that he expresses his love for me. And hopefully the way I deal with him are ways that I express my love for him. And that love, I think, it's phileo, it's brotherly love, I think, in this little corner of the internet, is in some ways what I think all of us are desiring, and all of us understanding that you need a foundation of this love in order to actually have productive and enjoyable conversations.